Today, beIN Sports moves to Manila in the Philippines for a full night of boxing action. From the Soler Resort and Casino, I am George D. Metellus, and we welcome you for a great main event. For the WBO Intercontinental Junior Featherweight Championship, ranked number 3 by the WBO, Genesis Azucal Cervania from the Philippines puts his title and undefeated record on the line against two-time world champion Alexander El Explosivo Munoz from Venezuela. But first, we have a 10-round fight. King Arthur Villanueva, undefeated in his first 24 fights, will face Mexican power puncher Fernando Aguilar. The tale of the tape shows that Villanueva is 1 year older and has a 13-centimeter reach advantage over his opponent. Our announcers are Dian Castillejo and Bill Velasco. But first, let us send it to our ring announcer, Ted Lerner.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pinoy Pride 24 here at the Soler Resort and Casino in the heart of the entertainment city, Parañaque, Metro Manila, Philippines. This next contest is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it's in the super flyweight division. Now, let's meet the fighters. Firstly, fighting out of the blue corner tonight, wearing the white trunks with the green trim. He weighed in at 115 pounds. Fight record, 9 wins, 6 losses. He hails from Mexico City, Mexico. And let's give a warm Philippine welcome to Fernando Enano Aguilar. His opponent fighting out of the red corner tonight, wearing the trunks of the Ala Boxing Stable. He also weighed in at 115 pounds. Fight record, impressive, undefeated, 24 wins without a loss. 14 wins by knockout. And he hails from Bacolod City, Negros Occidental. Please welcome the King, Arthur Villanueva. Judges at ringside, Gilco, Gerald Tomaldon, and Danrex Topdassen. And when the bell rings, your third man in the ring, your referee from New Zealand, Bruce McTavish. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds, super flyweight. Here's referee McTavish with the final instructions.
Fernando. This way. You've been given your instructions. Touch gloves. Go back to your corner.
That's referee Bruce McTavish, a familiar face here in Philippine boxing. He's been living in Angeles City. That's about an hour's drive from the capital, Manila. All right, this is a 10-round fight. Philippines versus Mexico. King Arthur.
Bruce, who, by the way, was last year's referee of the year.
Oh.
So
always very firm.
He also refereed the first women's world title fight held in a prison in Thailand.
Interesting.
It was the basis of a documentary by National Geographic Channel.
There's King Arthur, who prepared for a different opponent, but has another Mexican in front of him. Talking to him in the weigh-in, he said that surprisingly his opponent looked like he was in shape, even if he, got this fight in last-minute notice.
Well, same thing happened to Nonito Donaire when he got the call to fight to replace the opponent of Victor Chinyan for the world title.
Right.
He was always ready.
And this guy flew in all the way from Mexico. He looked really skinny at the weigh-in, but looks like he's put on a few pounds here.
Oh, they eat a lot after the weigh-in.
I know. I saw Arthur after the weigh-in. They were eating like kamote, which is sweet potato, and banana, and drinking lots of fluid and taking some recovery powder drinks. So it's nice to know that the Ala fighters are taking care of themselves even better now, physically, like they're watching their food.
Well, Arthur so far not able to get the range yet. And that's what we were saying. There's a certain unpredictability since this was not the opponent they scouted for.
Right. Okay, King Arthur.
And he's a much more cautious fighter now than we had seen him previously. But then it is just the first round.
Okay, King Arthur there just looking for the opening. Gets one, lunges forward for a 1-2 hit. Now chasing his opponent around.
I think he's
As you
studying
said,
his
being-
opponent
yeah,
more.
Aguilar has 9 wins and 6 losses.
He got tagged with the right hook there. Short left to the face.
Nice right there. That almost like the Mexicans complaining like it hit the back of his head.
But for Villanueva, now he knows that he can hit this guy. And he knows he can hurt him.
I love this Philippine versus Mexico rivalry. Always,
boy.
yeah. You
What a
always-
long history this has had.
I know. There's always a different energy when
Yes.
it's Mexico versus the Philippines.
And you have to remember, when Don Iñetes won his second world title, he won it in Mexico.
In Mexico against the Mexicans.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yes.
I think he did that twice, win the world title overseas.
Once on a mountaintop in the open air. I remember covering that fight.
Wow, that must have been nice. I like open air.
End of round 1. Good feeling out round. Villanueva, I would think, had the advantage there.
Okay, we're looking back at action for the first round. There's King Arthur Villanueva in black and the Mexican in white.
I think he was having trouble pinning him down and finally nailed him with this one.
There's that shot that the Mexican said was to the back of the head. And there we see the head of the narrowcast group of ABS-CBN. That's March Ventosa and Robert Labayan, a good friend who's head of the ABS-CBN Corporate Communications Department. So this fight is brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports and Ala Promotions. Pinoy Pride 24, the 24th of many successful fight cards.
Oh, yes.
That started years ago.
Catapulted many boxers to fame and even some world championships.
The nice thing about this series that gives these up-and-coming fighters a chance to really hone their skills, test their skills, and they get some good quality opponents. They try to have best matchup. They don't pick easy opponents.
They don't. So now, like for example, Villanueva is adjusting against Aguilar.
Yeah, Aguilar is really, well, of course, wanting to prove himself.
Yes, indeed.
You know, so many things have happened from last-minute replacements,
Yeah.
like Manny Pacquiao when he first got that call to for that world against Barrera, I think.
Marco Antonio Barrera.
Yeah. So it's always a good idea to stay in shape.
As they say, success is when preparation and opportunity meet. Nice overhand right there by Villanueva, and that's been an effective punch for him, because when Aguilar extends the left, he doesn't pull it all the way back. And I'm sure the corner had a lot of notes for Villanueva after the end of the first round. And you can tell Villanueva's been out in the sun a lot. Look at how dark his arms are.
Well, they have this track in the Ala gym
Yes,
that's
they do.
open.
That's
open.
open.
Air, so they, you know, and at 6:30, it's like the sun is blaring. And I believe they've also been doing some swimming, and they've added a lot of things to their strength and conditioning
Oh,
program.
aquatic training was, you know, pioneered by Muhammad Ali back in the 60s. He was the first, and then a lot of people used to laugh at him, but now everybody's doing it. Not just in boxing, but in other sports too.
Mexican corner quite busy and
Yes.
blurting out instructions to their fighter, Aguilar.
But you know, if you do it too much, the boxer gets confused.
I know. It actually varies. Some fighters like it, but I don't think not many like it to be like talked at constantly, right?
Because you're standing in front of somebody who's trying to knock your head off, and you're trying to listen to your coach. So it's
Like he's
hard.
doing a running commentary.
And it's hard to adjust on the fly, you know. Just give him some basic instructions going into the round, and you know, adjustments along the way. But this is non-stop.
To each his
He's talking
own,
more
I
than we are.
suppose. Pégalo, he's saying. Hit him. Easier said than done,
And see,
coach.
Villanueva is having a hard time
Yes.
nailing Aguilar.
Yeah. not really able to tag him as
That's
easily
another
as he
lesson
would have
that
thought he
Villanueva
would.
has to learn. How to use his lateral movement to cut the ring.
Oh, he walked into that punch. But he took it.
That's gotta hurt.
Oh, he's got a nosebleed now. Aguilar. Looks like that's probably his brother or his cousin in the corner. They look similar.
Girl, the lady in red, Johnny.
The Philippines must be one of the few countries that name their round girls, right? As they're walking.
Well, they do that in the UFC, but not in boxing.
All right, second round action here from this Philippines versus Mexico bout. There's Aguilar.
Good exchange there.
Mexican in white. Ooh, gets hit.
Well, Aguilar's trying to prove that he's not a tomato can, so he's really trying to make a statement here. So far, he's somewhat befuddled Villanueva. Because you've got this whole game plan,
Yeah.
and somebody else shows up.
Villanueva not really able to execute as smoothly his fight plan. He's having to really take his time and find the right momentum.
But, you know, he's also learned patience the last couple of years. When he started out, he was pretty impatient.
True. 24-0, undefeated, and has 14 knockouts to his name.
And the nice thing about Villanueva is even with that kind of a record, he's still taking risks. You know, he's not out there like some people like Floyd Mayweather, you know, just trying to protect the record. That was a low blow by Villanueva, and he's pounding himself on the head. And theoretically, the rules state that Aguilar can have up to 5 minutes. But I've never seen anybody do that.
Okay, so you had the Mexican grimacing in pain.
But, you know, these guys were protective cups, so it can't really hurt that much.
Didn't look like it was intentional. In fact, there's Villanueva apologizing to Aguilar. They're usually clean fighters, these ala fighters. And so the fight resumes.
But again,
here
you know,
we're in the third round.
He's fighting a southpaw. It's not the opponent he expected.
Okay, so this Villanueva won his last fight by knockout in the first round. So that was a short fight. And before that, also a TKO win in the fourth round against Arturo Badillo. So he's used to winning quickly, but Aguilar not proving to be an easy opponent at this point.
In fact, he's so, you know, unusual. Even his timing, you know, the way he throws punches, it's contrary to what Villanueva was used to. But he walked into a stiff right there by Villanueva, so he got hurt.
Villanueva warming up, trying to get going, trying to make some rhythm for him. Because as you said, it's Aguilar's throwing him off a bit. And the crowd really getting into it, enjoying the action here from the Soler Hotel.
Bruce McTavish, very eagle-eyed, always in between, you know, seeing both sides.
And the Mexican corner continues their commentary. Last words I heard were, pelea inteligente, fight intelligently. And you got...
And that's not a very clear instruction when you think about it.
And there's been blood flowing down from his nose. You see his shorts are marked.
And, you know, he wipes his nose with his gloves, then he wipes them on the shorts.
Yeah. Así manda la pelea. So they like what they're seeing.
Only the third round. Oh, is that a headbutt?
Let's have a look at the...
I think he's cut. I think he's cut under the left eye. Accidental headbutt. But that's got to hurt. There are a lot of nerves in that part of the face.
Oh, wow. That looks like a really deep cut.
Let's see. So the ring physician will have to check. Yeah, and it's swelling right away.
Oh, it's open. Wow.
Oh, wow. It's
like
pretty big.
Really
It's pretty
cut.
big. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
So let's see how much further he can go on. I have a feeling this may lead to a stoppage because it's bleeding profusely.
It did open up. So there's the last 10 seconds of round 3.
Let's see how the corner will be able to contain the bleeding at the end of this round. Good left there by Villanueva. That scored.
Oh, Let's have a look at that again.
Again, you have a
There.
you have an
Oh,
orthodox and a southpaw fighter. And that's going to happen. See, he ducked under.
Yeah,
then
he ducked
leaned
under,
in, but,
and then his head came forward ahead of the shot.
but, you know, Aguilar was also leaning in
And that's Jojo Garcia
of our sales group.
and Vince Rodriguez,
On
who
the right,
is
yeah.
head of the ABS-CBN Sports Channel, and Burge Copies, the finance officer for ABS-CBN Sports.
Oh, so all the big guns are out tonight, man. All the big guns are out here.
But it's a big event for us here, and we hope you're enjoying it. This fight card, Pinoy Pride 24, brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports and Ala Promotions. Hello and mabuhay from the Philippines. I'm Diane Castillejo with Bill Velasco bringing you this fights. Philippines versus Mexico right now. We've got King Arthur Villanueva in black against Aguilar the Mexican in white. The shorts has been bloodied by the nose from his blood and an accidental headbutt that opened up the wound in his
He's
face. Wow.
fighting back, you know, like a wounded tiger.
You are right.
But he's
What an exchange.
not as accurate on Villanueva. Trying to make some room.
What a
Villanueva's
matador.
getting hurt also.
Yes. What a warrior is Aguilar.
Well, he knows that with that cut,
Yeah, he has to do something quickly.
if it opens up anymore, the doctor could stop the fight, and he didn't come all this way for the fight to be stopped.
Crowd loves it. He looked pretty fierce in the weigh-in.
Well, this is a big chance for him to use Villanueva as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Good 1-2 combination by King Arthur Villanueva. And Aguilar coming to his senses and, you know, hoping he hasn't woken a sleeping dragon.
Corner says that's the way to fight like a champion. Oh, look at all the blood coming down from the wound and the nose.
It's the left nostril and the left cheek. And Bruce McTavish, you know, checking the tape that's been coming off from all the sweat, you know.
Hey.
And he didn't stop the fight to treat the wound. He said he stopped the fight to fix the tape because it could cause abrasions.
Time in. Box.
See how sharp.
Yeah, Bruce
Bruce
is really sharp,
Oh, yeah.
man. He sees everything.
He's been a resident of Pampanga in the central part of Luzon for over 40 years.
Wow. Here's one foreigner who loves the Philippines.
Yes.
The fight continues in round 4. Philippines versus Mexico. King Arthur Villanueva of the Philippines.
Oh, Villanueva shaking off balance there. He's got to get his focus back.
Aguilar came out
You know,
very aggressive here in the 4th
A lot
round
of
after getting
distractions
cut.
for Villanueva here. The low blow, the cut. You know. So of course, you know, the cut was accidental, but it's still your fault. So, you know,
Yes.
part of you, you know, wants to apologize, but the fight goes
Yeah.
on.
So it looked like he backed off a little bit.
Yes,
And it's Aguilar who came out more aggressive.
but it's part of the game.
You have to be tough on the ring. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so many unexpected things happen, and you gotta be smart.
Well, like some fighters say, you can be compassionate after the fight. But look at all the blood, you know.
That's distracting in itself,
Yeah.
right? To fight against, wow, look at that.
And it also affects the impact of your punches. Because the other fighter's slippery. But for some fighters, the sight of their own blood fires them up. Oh boy. I don't know what his corner did, but the bleeding stopped, Dan. The bleeding of
Oh, you're
his nose is
right.
bleeding, but the cut's not.
That's why you need a good cut, man.
The round card girl, the lady in pink, Alex.
That's our ring girl, Alex.
Watch this. He caught Villanueva there.
Yeah, twice.
Good combination, and Villanueva flustered.
This is when he came out like really fighting and determined after getting cut in the last round. Credit to Aguilar for his ferociousness and tenacity there.
Yes.
A real warrior. And that's why we like the Philippines versus Mexico rivalry.
True.
Oh, and there's the team captain of our Philippine ladies football team, Mariel Benitez, enjoying some boxing. And incidentally, our Philippine national football team is fighting against Malaysia tonight, so good luck to them. All right, this is round 5 here, scheduled for 10. This is a featherweight bout, King Arthur Villanueva against a Mexican.
Yeah, I would score this fight dangerously close there.
Yes, I know.
You know, I'd say it's practically even.
I saw the 4 cornermen of Villanueva really leaning into him and talking to him quite intensely. They have to. This was not really expected.
Yes.
And the corner of Aguilar giving him instructions to go more for the head. Sierra, they tell him to Sierra to tus manos, to close in and guard the head. Let go combinations, the Mexican corner says. So both fighters waiting for the right time here. Aguilar coming off 2 losses last year, really trying to get a win.
You know, we have an expression here, contratiempo. You know,
Yeah.
that means Aguilar is going against the grain of the timing of Villanueva. Oh, tagged Villanueva with the left hook. Boy, Villanueva's got his hands full here.
Yes.
And we were saying the matchmaking has been
We've
very
had some
interesting.
really good
Yes.
fights here. Oh, the Mexican now letting his hands go, causing some trouble for the Filipino.
Now, I don't think Aguilar has that much knockout power, but Villanueva has to stop holding back.
Yeah, because he's been able to shut him up a bit. I mean, it's Aguilar who's been super aggressive since he got cut in the
True.
3rd round.
He realizes that, you know, time is against him.
But he seemed to have a surge of energy.
That's the adrenaline. He saw he was cut and he saw how deep it was. His corner probably told him, you've got to make up for being cut. Because if they go to the scorecards, you don't know what will happen.
Wow. Good body shot there from Aguilar, and that's the end of the round. And
You know
now
what Aguilar is doing is he's keeping close. And that's really throwing off Villanueva. Villanueva works better with some distance so he can use his jab.
ballroom of the Soler Hotel filling up. Just watch the 5th round action of the Philippines versus Mexico bout. And there's some action from the last round, as you were saying. Fighters are close in, and there's Aguilar.
See this? Aguilar, the better infighter between the two, and he's showing it now. And Villanueva, you know, it's a slight swelling under his left
face
eye.
is marked. I was just gonna say that there.
That means the
there's
right
some fans.
lead of Aguilar is getting to Villanueva.
Expats enjoying the boxing action here.
Very, very intriguing bout. Scheduled for 10.
Referee Bruce McTavish is at the center of the ring, ready to call back the fighters. For round 6. It's amazing how the Mexican corner, right
I was just going to say.
right after the timeout, it's like he's not done. Like he didn't have, the minute wasn't long enough to be able to give his
Sounds like
coaching.
he's writing his memoirs.
All right, combinations is what he wants, and what else? But there are some corners that way, you know, I've seen it. They're like just, it's either the fighters like it or that's just the coaching style of the.
Or
of
he's
the-
trying
of the
to
corner.
distract the other fighter.
Well, yeah, Villanueva doesn't really understand Spanish, so, but still, I guess, constant speaking. All right, we're in round 6. Now, Villanueva's got to make a move here and not allow Aguilar to continue to...
Because what's happening now is Aguilar is getting more and more courageous.
Yeah,
and he feels he's starting to win this fight.
And Aguilar and Villanueva's getting more cautious.
Again, a new experience also for Villanueva. Replacement fighter gets caught. There was that low blow. You know, a lot of these things playing on your mind.
I mean, Villanueva is undefeated. He's got 24 wins. Decent experience fighting in the provinces and in Manila. But a good challenge for him now.
Yes, Aguilar with a nice left hook.
Aguilar. You can see it's a little bit more timid now and not as bombastic as he was in the earlier rounds. Otra vez, one more. Another good left hook there.
He's really tagging Villanueva. You know, every time Villanueva tries to back away.
And the corner asking him to go for it, saying, Sakalo, take it now.
Good body shot by Villanueva.
This is 6 rounds, scheduled for 10 in the featherweight division.
I have a feeling this is going to be a long fight. Boy, imagine if you had that voice in your ear throughout the fight, you'd really be mad.
Well, it looks like it's working for him.
But you know, he's not really hurting Villanueva, but he's connecting.
Yeah, I mean, he's got busy hands. He's always there, and he's moving forward.
And that could really make an impression on the judges.
Yeah, he looks like...
Oh, good right there. That one.
Oh, boy.
Tagged Villanueva.
End of round 6. He looks like...
Good. And that's quite possible, Dan. After the second round, it's quite possible.
Yeah.
He's really turned this fight around.
Turnaround.
And you know, like I was saying, same story with Nonito Donaire. At the press conference for that fight, Vic Darchinyan said some nasty things against his family, so he knocked Darchinyan out. It was just a replacement. It's happened before. So Villanueva has to be really careful here. Technically, he's fighting the more sound fight, but in terms of aggression, it's Aguilar.
Mexican is winning the aggression division, and the Mexican corner likes it.
And you know, when you have such a big undefeated record, you're torn between throwing caution to the wind and, you know, holding back and fighting from a distance.
I'm surprised at how much he's been able to really neutralize Villanueva. I mean, he's actually got him now like timid and considering he has way more experience. I mean, Villanueva has way more experience than Aguilar. Aguilar's got only 14 fights. Fighting in foreign territory. Credit to Fernando Aguilar. But this is round 7 for 10 rounds. So the Mexican corner is telling him to continue to dominate. Saca la dominación.
I don't know what Villanueva is waiting for.
I know. I'm wondering what's going through his mind.
Because he's just going through the motions.
He's like really stepped back.
He needs something to wake him up.
Yeah. I don't know if he was expecting like an easy early fight, and he's like...
Yeah. But, you know, Aguilar is countering very well.
Yeah, and that face is like, it's so bloody, it's distracting. He's got the eye of the tiger too, and it's Villanueva who looks
good combination by Villanueva. He should build on that. And look, now it's Aguilar who's pushing him back.
Yeah.
You know, before it was Villanueva pushing back so he could use the jab.
I mean, just the body language of the two of them, and you can see really like Aguilar has been really the aggressor, and
you see
Villanueva's like so kind of fighting subdued.
Like he's lost his confidence.
Yeah. That's what it is. I think he lost his confidence and his timing, and he's now like backstepping. And there's Aguilar looking for a strong finish here. End of round 7. What a warrior. Good exchange to end the 7th round.
If I were Villanueva's corner, I would be worried.
Yeah, they gotta tell him to like wake up. And there's Edmond Villamor in the corner of Arthur Villanueva.
Because what's happening is he is allowing Aguilar to take the fight away from him.
I mean, he looked like he was so in control in the early rounds, and then, oh, another clash of heads.
Yes.
In the last round. Then it's amazing how things can turn around. Well, that's why you have 10 rounds, and each 3 minutes you get a restart, and it's up to you how you
And now they're
start
working
the 3 rounds.
the left eye. That means the right hook and the right straight of Aguilar have been doing damage.
Overexcited corner there of Aguilar. Oh, they want to come off with this upset. If ever, it would be an upset. Round 8, scheduled for 10. King Arthur Villanueva dominated the early rounds, but so far since the headbutt and the cut open, it's been Aguilar who's been the aggressor from round 4 and really increasing the volume of his punches and being way more aggressive. Filipinos kind of like step back a bit, so let's see what he does here in round 8. Pretty good conditioning being shown by the Mexican here.
And look at the corner, just keeping him motivated.
Yeah, he's keeping him up, keeping his adrenaline up. And he's holding on to something now, and he's
protecting the right side of his face.
Yeah. So
But he's had that right hand up the whole fight.
they're telling him to keep up the intensity, keep up the combinations, and
I told you there's going to be a long fight.
wow.
And for Villanueva, it must feel like forever.
Yeah.
Like he's walking in mud. And it's Aguilar who's really stalking Villanueva
You know,
now.
this fight was supposed to be the co-main event, I mean, with the original opponent, but it's turning out also to be a really good, interesting matchup. It was moved down 1 fight. Oh. I can sense that Aguilar's like a little bit tired, and that's why his corner's like really trying to keep him up emotionally.
Villanueva shouldn't let himself be backed into the ropes. You know, this is his fight to lose. A good right by Villanueva.
Crowd really anxiously watching this fight. Bruce McTavish, 3rd man on the ring.
And you see, look at the
This
positioning
Aguilar
of
is some
McTavish.
fighter.
He's really,
Yeah.
you know, in the right spot.
Woo.
Boy,
This has
tough
been a
fight.
war. Yeah, tough fight.
You know, Aguilar non-stop.
I mean, look at him.
He's getting warned for some blows going a little below the belt line. Now, Villanueva really has to just stand his ground and assert himself here. He's just getting outworked.
Yeah, he's getting hit. He's not really. He's being very conservative with his shots.
That's a good point. Conservative is the word.
Conservative, huh? I don't know what happened, why he suddenly backed off. Oh, there's some visitors enjoying the fight. We've got two. Should be interesting. We've got WBO President Leon Panon, Vice President Leon Panoncillo.
And also, you know, the WBO with all the activities, especially with Ala Promotions, it's also helped a lot of Filipino boxing officials, referees, judges, and so on, you know, catapult to the international stage also. So now they're traveling around the world, officiating, judging fights.
Right.
Great for them.
This is the 9th round of the super flyweight bout between the Filipino Arthur Villanueva and Fernando Aguilar. This fight is brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports and Ala Promotions, and we hope you're enjoying the action. Greetings to our viewers in North America, Canada, and Puerto Rico. So the Mexican Aguilar, a last-minute replacement in this fight, is really showing that he is a tough
he's tough. A
guy.
tough hombre.
You bet.
You know, he's so far been out fighting, even technically now, Villanueva. I'm really worried.
I don't know if he's hurt or I don't know. It's like he's just mentally shut off. This time it's a low blow from the Mexican. Earlier we had it the other way around. So
let's just say
Filipino takes some
he'll be
moments.
singing in a higher key.
You're doing good. Don't need to do that, right? Yeah, I know. Try to keep it up. You're doing good, right? Good, good.
So Bruce McTavish is telling him to keep his hands up. In straight English, I wonder if he
He's
understood.
encouraging him. He says, you're doing a good job. Just keep your hands up. I think Villanueva should take this time, use this as a turning point, gather his wits,
Okay, time in.
get his game back.
So there's that cut in the left cheek of Aguilar from the accidental headbutt that occurred in the 3rd round. But the bleeding has been controlled quite well by his corner. And he's come out since that time smoking, being the aggressor, hunting and connecting. There's Villanueva with a little bit more spark. Crowd is trying to get behind the Filipino. They want him to be more aggressive and just throw more combinations.
I mean, be a warrior.
He's been
trying to counterpunch and it doesn't work. So
he lacks the fire. He lacks some fire in him.
and he's got all the skills, and we know he's got knockout power.
He's got 14 KOs in 24 wins. He's undefeated, but being really challenged here in a different
and
situation.
This is the 9th round.
Yeah, he's got like less than, well, exactly 4 minutes to do something more. I wonder how the judges are seeing this, but
That's a good question.
That's another,
It's going to be very close in my book. But right now, I would think Aguilar's ahead.
Yeah. Well, Mexican corner there pushing him to continue to be aggressive. And Bruce McTavish preventing the Mexican from holding and then hitting. Villanueva missing on that counter attempt. His timing has been really affected. Wow, getting tagged in again. Aguilar is like a house on fire. He's been non-stop. And he's really gained his confidence.
Yes. And the wound has stopped bleeding.
Yeah.
And it's been getting hit, too.
End of 9.
Oh, boy. One more round.
I wish we could get some audio from the corner of Villanueva.
But the question there is that unblemished record going to be stained with a loss tonight?
Wow, that would be something.
That would be very painful.
Unexpected. So again, Fernando Aguilar was a last-minute replacement for this fight. He was called within 1 week notice, and he just flew in from Mexico Thursday in time for the weigh-in on Friday.
Yes.
And that's a long flight, you know.
He's still jet lagged.
Some friends from the media. We got Nick Yonko of the Manila Bulletin. And the crowd there appreciating the two fighters who are into the final round of this bout. Wow, Bill. I wonder what Villanueva will have to show in this round, and I wonder what he's thinking.
He would feel awful if this went down as his first loss.
Right after this, we've still got the Philippines versus Indonesia, and our main event, Philippines versus Venezuela.
Yes.
Good action here in the final round.
Aguilar still very active. Villanueva still a little tentative.
Gets
And the crowd
tagged
trying to encourage Villanueva.
moving slightly better now, Villanueva, in this round. But the Mexican remains aggressive.
Backing off.
Yeah,
He's
been backing off, yeah, since round 4.
You know, one thing about Aguilar, he's been consistent.
So he'll want to continue his aggression to show the judges that he deserves the win. That's what he's going to try to do. But Villanueva gets one good connection there.
But Villanueva is running out of time.
Yeah,
I think.
Got a minute and a half left.
I mean, this could be a draw too. Oh, low blow there by Aguilar. Oh.
Over here. Over here.
Neutral corner.
Lots of problems for Villanueva in this fight.
Yes.
Amazing.
Already.
All the things that can happen in a bout. And that's why you need to be prepared, not only physically, but mentally. For me, mental conditioning is, I mean, wow, just as important as the physical conditioning.
True.
You got to be like
Maybe
tough
even more so.
Yeah. Got to believe in yourself.
Oh, gosh, we're coming down to the final minute, Diane.
I know.
And look at Aguilar. He's still keeping the pressure on.
Determined to finish strong. That's Fernando Aguilar of Mexico.
Yes.
In white. Bloodied, but definitely not defeated.
White in the back, red in front. From all the blood from his nose and his left cheek. But great job that his corner has done.
Brought here. A lot of respect for Fernando Aguilar. And we've down to the last 30 seconds, and Villanueva hasn't,
stuck in second gear.
Yeah, he hasn't really changed his tempo.
The crowd cheering for everything that Villanueva does, but
That's what he should have been doing a little bit earlier.
I'm seriously worried about this outcome for
I know.
Villanueva.
I wonder how the judges are going to score this one. And there you go, last 10 seconds.
Okay, don't leave anything behind.
That's it. All right, we went through 10 rounds, and the Filipino corner raised their hands. They seem to feel that they did enough to win. But let's see.
Oh, could be a draw.
Oh, and you got the Mexican corner, of course.
And you know, the crowd appreciating what he's done today. He's done a very brave thing.
He was really courageous on the ring. And wow, he brought everything he had.
Yes.
He fought with all his heart, with all his might.
And he's gonna need a couple of stitches too. You know, you can't ask for anything more from a fighter.
And that's the nice thing about Filipino fans. They appreciate even the visiting fighters' efforts. And there's Edmond Villanueva.
Or he doesn't look happy.
No, I would really love to talk to Arthur after this fight and find out what
I want to
went
hear
on.
the conversation in the locker room.
Yeah. They speak in Visayas. He's from the south. But of course, most Filipinos do know the national language, which is Tagalog or Filipino.
Originally known as Tagalog, but now it's Filipino. With an expanded alphabet as of the last few years.
So you can see the nose of this guy Aguilar, which is a sign of many wars. It's been hit.
Like they say, bloodied but unbound.
Lots of fighters have deformed noses, and that's because of all the hitting they've taken.
And Arthur Villanueva also not looking too great. You know, both his eyes are swollen. The left one almost shut. And the Mexican corner is going, look what you did to my boy's face.
There's King Arthur. He's got 24 wins and no loss. And let's see whether he will remain undefeated or will he suffer his first loss. To me, it could have
might be a
go
draw.
the other way. Let's listen to what the judges have to say. Let's go back to Ted Lerner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Soler Resort and Casino, Pinoy Pride 24. Before we go to the judge's decision, how about another round of applause for two great warriors? Judge Gerald Tamaldan scores the bout 94-93. Gilco scores the bout 95-92. And Judge Denrex Topdassen scores the bout 96-91. All for the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated from the Philippines, King Arthur Villanueva.
Arthur Villanueva keeps his undefeated record against the courageous and big-hearted Fernando Aguilar. But don't go away after this.